Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and this is all about my life after gastric bypass surgery. I haven't said that in a really long time. I haven't really prepared anything for this video. Usually I like to think about what it is I want to say before I sit down in front of a camera. I don't know, I'm riding the wave of feeling like motivated to film it, so I'm just going for it. So bear with me if it doesn't come together super cohesively in the end. I'm hoping for the best, but here we are. I have a whole bunch of reasons why I've decided to start filming updates and filming content for my channel again. I guess I won't bury the lead, and I'll start by just saying that I quit my job. So I didn't ever really talk about my job previously on my channel, partly because I believe in some privacy. There's some things it just wasn't really relevant. But also I was working for the state and I wanted to keep that very clear divide for professional reasons. And so I just never mentioned what I did or sort of the line of work that I was in. So I was working in the Washington State Workers' Compensation System for the last 10 or so years. The last two of which, when I changed my job and talked about that on my channel last time, were working for the state. I have a lot of things that I could say about that. What I will say is that even though the change from my prior position to the state position was really good in a lot of ways for my work-life balance, and it really did bring me a lot more happiness in a lot of ways than before. So I think that change was good. Ultimately, I just kept, as the years were going on, feeling like I wasn't really thriving and doing what I wanted to do. And I really kept struggling with this idea that I was putting a lot of myself into my job, putting a lot of effort into things, and not really getting anything back from that other than a paycheck. And I mean, the paycheck is nice and I do need money, but ultimately I wasn't feeling a lot of fulfillment from my job. I wasn't feeling a lot of growth opportunities. And I was feeling like I was getting lost and I was losing myself. One of the reasons I moved from the private sector over to the state was to try to get a better work-life balance, because I was losing myself in my job and I was having long hours and I was, absolutely taking it home with me at night. And that was bad. I didn't like that. So that was better. I had more stability with my job. Ultimately I did fix that issue, but it's not what I want to be doing. And I've really struggled with that because there's part of me that feels like that's very selfish. It's really, really selfish for me to say, well, I want to be doing something different. And so I'm just going to, when it just, it's a big unknown. I'm not entirely prepared 100% to do something different. But I just ripped the Band-Aid off, so to speak, and I decided to just leave. And a big part of that, other than, not feeling fulfilled and I wasn't, really getting what I wanted out of my work, was that I was losing myself and losing my priorities. I wanted time and space to be able to prioritize the things that are most important in my life. And one of those is me. Something that I have been neglecting for a very, very long time. I started to get better at that after surgery, and I lost that along the way. I got a little bit too complacent, and I just sort of lost the priority, which is my mental and physical health. I've been joking that quitting my job is more of like a sabbatical. I don't honestly know where it's going to lead, but I have been sort of joking that I'm going to take a year off to focus on things that are important to me. I do have an end goal. And I'll go ahead and share that. The end goal, hopefully by the end of a year, and I'd like within the next 3 to 6 months to be really ramping towards that. But ultimately within the next year, I'm going to try to open my own business and try to open a bakery. This is something that I have always wanted to do. I've always wondered if I could or should. Usually when I make cookies, people ask me if I sell them. I'm like, no, I don't really. And so this is the opportunity where I'm going to see where that takes me. And what I am keeping in mind is that, I'm basically giving myself a year to take a break, focus on myself, and start ramping into this change. And my husband and I are going to reassess after a year and kind of see where we're at and if something needs to change. And if I need to go back to a normal job, then at that point I will decide if that's something that I need to do. And if that is the case, what I want to do. Is it going to be full-time, part-time? What do we need? What do I need? What do I want? So I'm giving myself some time to explore this. And it's been very scary. It's been very, very, very scary to leave my job and not have a backup plan. I mean, I technically have backup plans, but I don't have anything that I moved into. And I've been out of work for almost 3 weeks now. And it has been a bit of a transition, but I feel good. I'm feeling really good. And one of the things that I would like to do is start filming again. I actually really liked filming for my channel, and I just kept feeling like all the things that I was adding to my life, I didn't have time to sit down and have this be part of it again. And also I didn't want my weight loss journey to be my identity anymore. That's sort of interesting to think about now, coming back to the channel. I think in some ways it is always going to be a big part of me. And in some ways I do kind of want to embrace that. I've had a lot of people, especially after I've been gone, reach out to me who find my videos later, who've been telling me that my channel was really helpful for them. And the whole point of my channel when I first started it was to have somebody sharing their experience, because I wasn't seeing that when I had made my channel. I think there's a lot more content creators out there now, and there's a lot more people and diversity in terms of people going through this process. But that was my whole point, was I just wanted to share my perspective as somebody who was almost 400 pounds and going through this whole experience, from start to finish. And that doesn't go away. I mean, as much as I wanted that to not be the central focus in my life, and it hasn't been, it doesn't go away when it comes to me thinking about continuing to lose weight or making sure that I'm not gaining weight again. It doesn't go away fully. It is something that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And that is something that I came to terms with back when I was doing Weight Watchers years ago, was that I'm just in an unfortunate position where I can't just let it go and exist and be totally fine. I have to be conscious of it. And that is a perspective that I think is important to maybe continue on my channel, at least in one way, shape, or form. The other big part of this is, I have had a little bit of regain. I've talked about this. I don't know how in depth I talked about it in prior videos, but I am about 35 pounds up from my lowest weight. And that has been very steady. I actually just pulled up a chart note from my doctor's visit almost exactly a year ago, and I was at the same weight. So I have been very consistent for over a year, probably a couple of years now. I slowly gained about 35 pounds, and then I've been staying there. It has not slowed me down. That is one big thing that I want to get out, is that I am still super active. I still have way more energy than before. I'm still going on hikes. I'm still doing things. My life has permanently changed as a result of this surgery, regardless of the regain. But it is something that I did feel a little bit better when I was at that lower weight. And that lower weight was like 196 pounds or something. it's not even like all that low. But I felt better at that weight. And that's something that I would like to get back to. And so I have started focusing on weight loss again, trying to maintain a really good balance, trying to make sure that I am not getting lost in the process. But I think also sharing that part of the journey is important as well, because losing weight now is entirely different than when I lost weight right after surgery. It is so much harder and it takes so much more work. And it's something that I just feel is, I'm hesitating to use the word obligation, but like there's almost a part of me that feels like it is an obligation for me to show this part, because it is part of my surgery, is part of my weight loss journey. It is part of my gastric bypass experience. Why I'm trying to lose weight again is multifaceted. And there are some things that I'm willing to share and some things that I'm not really willing to talk about quite yet. And I will leave it at a discussion with my doctor, and it's so hard because I don't want to like just leave it there and have everyone just speculate like what that means. It's nothing like super crazy or big, but I did have a discussion with my doctor. And although all of my blood work is fantastic, I would like to add, my doctor has been very happy with my weight loss, and my blood work and my health in general is great. She is very happy with that. And I am very happy with that. So it's nothing like that, but after a discussion, it was something that we noted. I should work on at least losing a bit of that regain, and trying to get my BMI a little bit lower. And then another reason is that I was noticing over the years that I was starting to lose my really good habits. I don't want to say that bad habits have been creeping back in, although in some ways I think that is true, but it's more like I was just getting too lenient on things, and I was losing the good habits that I had built. And so one of my big goals with quitting my job is to use that time to build those good habits again, and really focus on, again, my mental and physical health. And with that should come weight loss as well. So for those reasons, I am back in an active attempt to lose weight, and that kind of content will be on this channel. I would like to mark that. I will make that very clear when I start to talk about things like that, because for some people in their journeys, like I was several months ago, it's not really something that I want. So for some people it can be very triggering. And so if I am sharing food and macros and calorie information, I will make sure that that is clearly identified for anybody in case that's not something that you want to do. But what I would like to do is start kind of filming this process again, and the things that I'm focusing on, the way my life looks right now, the habits that I'm trying to build, the food that I'm eating. I would like to bring you along on that journey. And I kind of missed it. I kind of missed talking to you guys, and I kind of missed editing and filming things, and this whole weekly process that I used to have. I really did get a lot of fulfillment from that. Okay, I think that's all that I have right now in terms of just sort of an introduction and where I'm going with this. I will absolutely be talking more about my plans. I will absolutely be giving more information on my bakery as that becomes more of a reality. I am trying to be more active on Instagram again. So if you're looking for, pictures and snapshots of things that are going on rather than, 15 to 30 minute videos, that might be a really good place to follow me there. But yeah, I'm really excited to be back. I'm really excited to be filming this video today, and I cannot wait to reconnect with everybody. So with that, make sure you're always looking at the big picture, be kind, make good choices, and I will see you in the next one.